Mother Nature popped off today.
Yeah, it was a weird fucking day, dude.
Did you get the alerts?
Yeah.
I got alerts for 80-mile-per-hour winds.
You know what? I went out onto the porch and like cleaned up some of our shit to make sure it didn't fly away.
Yeah.
Oh, also, hopefully our neighbors can't hear me right now, but when I got home, our trash can had knocked into their AC unit and pushed it into their driveway, and it was still running. I don't know if that's good, if that's like possible. It seems like not possible, but it was fully in their driveway. So I got out of my car and I'm like, oh, fuck. And I like picked up our trash can and I moved their whole AC unit back on this little pad.
I will follow up with several questions after these claps, but I got it.
Welcome back to class, everybody. It was a windy day.
I am your thoroughly confused and inquisitive Professor Ricky.
Hey, Professor Ethan here. Yeah, so today started off with like, I would say 14 to 15 hours of perfectly blue sky.
Like not a cloud
Not
besmirched the cerulean of the sky. And yet, like at 4:30, it like Mother Nature was just like, fuck this region in particular.
Yeah,
and
they said, oh, you really like that clean sky? How about a fucking tornado, bitch?
For those that don't necessarily live in our region of the country, we'll keep it vague with the Southeast. We do have in the summer and like early fall months, clockwork torrential downpours. Like it's almost like, you know, it's on a schedule. If you look on the Outlook, you got a meeting with the manager, meeting with the client. Fucking torrential downpour 5:30 p.m.
It is typically around 4 to 5.
Right. It just gets cool enough for everything to just come all the way down. And today was especially heinous. And you're telling me that our trash can flew its way. Are we talking the neighbor next door, or are we talking like across the street?
Directly next to us.
Okay. That's a little bit more
like literally where our trash can sits. It just like blew straight over into their driveway. But carried along with it their entire AC unit. It was still running while being in the middle of their driveway. So I'm like, that seems not right.
Did you? So with it still running, I
lifted its dumbass and I put it back on its pad.
That is one big, strong energy right there.
I don't think there's a lot in AC units, frankly.
They're sizable enough to be unwieldy, I would say.
I think I had the power of like 6,000 suns when I'm like that embarrassed and scared that somebody's going to walk out.
I love that you're embarrassed for our inanimate trash can making a decision in the rain.
Well, just like breaking potentially like a neighbor's thing is never
That is never good. Yeah. And I can't say I have lifted an HVAC unit in my lifetime. Just never gotten the chance, frankly.
Right.
So,
it's definitely not something you ever really think about. But I'll tell you what, I now know that I can indeed do that.
That's fucking sick. And you can do it for the betterment of your neighborhood. Because it's not
just
it
like
wasn't
I
for
didn't want
you.
to be in trouble.
That's also true. Yeah. But I mean, we don't necessarily know how that's going to play out. But
I mean, it was still running, so.
True. But speaking of not knowing how it's going to play out,
very nice.
Today, we have a little bit of a topic idea that we're going to run by y'all students, a little bit of experimentation. We were thinking of what to do this week, and we commonly will either come in with a broader topic or we'll come in with a show specifically. And I got to thinking, tropes, Ethan, tropes.
Yeah.
We know them. Sometimes we love them when they're subverted. Sometimes we hate them when they're ham-fistedly applied with no, application of wrinkles. And I figured, since we have been doing this long enough, and a lot of the students that are day oneers have already gotten their degree of higher learning after 4 years, we know the tropes we'd like to think inside and out.
Right.
So I figured, let's put the money where our mouths are. And what we're going to do today is we're going to run through 3 shows that we gave around the religion of 3. I'd say 2 to 3 episodes per show, selected specifically for their generic paint job, just in the synopsis, just in the poster, stuff like that, from last season, or the last couple of seasons. And what we're going to do is based on those 2 to 3 episodes, we're going to try to predict how the rest of the season is going to play out. That is our mission number 1 for each 3 of these shows. And by the end, we're going to make a decision based on the religion of 3 for all 3 of these shows, which one of the 3 we would commit to finishing. Could be more than 1, but no less than 1. So.
Seems reasonable.
Seems reasonable enough. Let's see if we can see the tropes starting to be planted and how they would play out. And we will say up top, if depending on how we do, you can tell us if we nailed it or we were fucking way off and the show pulls Madoka Magica and just goes fucking hog wild in episode 4 and just totally subverts everything.
Right.
In the Discord, patreon.com/weebology. Get in there for $1 a month. Tell us if we're right or wrong. Fucking love it. But let's start. Because in the title and the description, I'm not saying what these shows are. So it's a complete mystery to everyone as they listen at this moment right now. The first show we're doing from last season. I got a cheat skill in another world and became unrivaled in the real world too.
Yeah, so I want to start off by saying I did watch probably 5 of these episodes.
5 episodes. Okay, you have a little more juice than I do on this one.
Yeah, this was something that I was like, oh, I'm going to watch this every episode of the season.
Okay.
And then I just ended up not doing that. So there's still meat on the bone that I can potentially forecast.
Okay. All right.
But honestly, after 5 episodes, I really feel like I kind of get the gist.
Right.
Beyond all, possibility of it going Madoka Magica left field.
I don't think it's going to be doing that in this show.
Right.
So this show has a 6.3 out of 10 on Mao, just to let you know what we're working with right now.
And easily the reason for that is it's super harem-ish.
Yes, in a very uniquely kind of in-your-face way.
There's just hot girls everywhere in the show.
It's just hot girls everywhere. In literally both sides of the isekai portal. It's fucking wild. So, quick synopsis. You got your boy, your MC, Yuya Tenjo, who is kind of a rotund lad when we start out. Much like us at times of our lives, you and I. I'd say I'm quite a rotund lad myself right now. And what he is experiencing is things we've actually brought up in other shows in the past. Japanese bullying can be fucking ruthless when it comes to stuff like weight, like outward appearance of that particular nature.
You know what's so interesting about that? And I've been thinking about it.
Yeah, what's up?
They simultaneously ruthlessly bully fat kids, but they love sumo wrestlers.
It's like if you can be the fattest and the strongest, then yes, you can be celebrated. But if you are not elite fat,
right,
and you're just fat as a hobby in Japan, then you're going to get clowned on almost to an inhumane degree.
Right.
Because this is not entirely uncommon. We see shows that do a much better nuanced take on the bullying and its effect on the psyche. This show is a little more flat in that regard. You have your boy in the first half of the first episode. It's clearly demonstrating how he doesn't have a single friend. His fucking parents hate him for some reason next to his 2 Adonises of siblings. He is the oldest of the 3. And while his siblings are excellent at academics, sports, physical appearance, literally name it, they're tops, he's in all respect probably not excelling in other areas of his life because of this weight that he physically literally is carrying around on his body.
So you know why his parents hate him, right?
His parents hate him, I figured later because of his living situation, right?
So I think they gloss over it potentially in the not English dub.
Okay.
Essentially, his grandfather left exclusively him money.
And the entire estate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole estate. So it's essentially like in a Yuya Tenji, or whatever his name is,
Tenjo.
trust.
Yep.
And his parents didn't have access, and neither does his other 2 steps.
Grandpa made that shit ironclad.
Right. So they're all pissed at him, even though that seems like not his fucking call.
Right. And his grandpa, by merit, was the only one that seemingly was nice to Yuya in his entire life, and was just take your time, man. Just face life the best way you can and just get after it. Like, whatever. In owning this and his parents being able to do nothing about it. The one thing, though, it seemed like they hated him well before his grandfather died. I don't, because I just couldn't wrap my head around why they were so disgusted, because I feel like his weight is genuinely their fault.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they obviously like really like move past that part of the equation pretty quickly.
They just kind of they just want you to know that he's hated for who he is. That's what it is.
I think it's just like a really, really like shittily setting the stage quickly and being like, all right, moving on to what we all came here to see.
All these shows have fucking wild pacing at times. It's very strange. Yes. So he's literally having a, kind of a justifiable breakdown after a harsh bullying sesh at the end of his middle school graduation time. And he finds, after punching a mirror, he punches a wall and finds a secret room in his grandfather's estate with a door in the back. Opening said door, he is gone full Narnia. He literally finds himself self-isekai'd without dying into another world that he can freely come to and fro, kind of like spanning the space. When he goes into this other world, he gets the full SAO treatment, baby. He gets the fucking menu. He gets the stats. He gets the gaming. He gets the gamer subs, dude. Like, full level up system. And he gets the description of some of the best weapons I think anyone with hands could hold. He like the absolute spear, the one above the god spear. Oh, really? He just has that?
Yeah. So it is unfortunate that like he starts off at just like utter god tier.
Yeah.
His like little house that his grandfather, I guess, had also owned has this like basically impenetrable field around it.
Yes.
And it's in the darkest, deepest part of like their like dark continent, essentially, which is like where all the really strong monsters live, like level 200 to infinite.
He pops up in New Game Plus with an invisible wall, like in a game, like that's truly coded in to not be penetrated except by the person, the admin, essentially. He finds himself defeating these wicked strong monsters, and thanks to other boons, which is my first kind of gripe of this initial shit, he is leveling up from 1 to 100 to 150 to 200. Like, it does slow, but he is like fucking leveling up like a maniac. That first day, he goes, defeats a blood ogre by staying behind the wall and throwing a absolute god spear into this thing's chest, and gets all the HP, XP, whatever the fuck in the world. He goes back to his home to sleep. He wakes up the next morning, and not just losing 200 pounds overnight, but he goes full Peter Parker and just gets absolutely fucking jack shredded. Yeah, and he becomes the most handsome man on the planet.
He becomes diced right immediately after he wakes up.
Absolute slice and dice. Like, dude's got a fucking A-pack, and it's just like, and he punched his mirror. So like, and that's something I found quite interesting, is that like, that was the first day of, I presume, summer break before high school. So we had 3 hard months of just like being able to go train in this other world.
So in Japan, it's only 3 weeks. That's why.
Oh, that's right. They do trimesters, right? They do.
So they're all super surprised when they see him 3 weeks later, and they're like, "Why are you sick all of a sudden?" Like,
yeah,
I thought you were an ugly fat pig that we all fucking hated.
Yeah, to get our own catharsis out about our own insecurities. Why are you now hot? Fuck you. So he basically, and not just that. He has these other boons where he has like asset conversion, where basically what a wild thing. It's so placatey, but like, he can kill monsters and acquire their drops, and then before he goes back into the real world, it's converted into the equivalent monetary value in yen. The fuck. So let's break it down. In one night, this guy gets a hideaway in another world that's completely barricaded from the forces that be, while allowing him to kill from the safety of his fucking backyard. Then he wakes up, gets an 8-pack, loses 200 pounds, literally has the ability to have infinite money, and then all the skills of martial arts, magic, and the like, and weapons mastery, and just gets to have that overnight. Yeah, so I think this show is goofy as all hell. In terms of the
setup's hard.
The setup is hard.
It's hard to get behind. One thing that we left out there is he is brave even when he's fat. Basically this like rich pretty girl is like mugged or getting attacked, or
Kaori Hojo is her name.
I forget what it's like in Japan. You always see like the hoodlums always like, oh hey girl, you know, like in every single show.
Yeah
like every show ever. And he like tries to stick up for her even though he's like fat loser pig boy. And then I think he gets beat up.
He gets his shit rocked for sure.
But she still is like, wow, that was so like nice. And like she recognizes, or she like looks into his eyes or whatever, right? And then when he comes, she basically goes to him to try to like get him to come to her school.
This is the first trope that I knew was fucking coming, even in this bit.
So her dad actually runs this like insane private school. So
Asarai Academy or something like that.
Yeah. And so it is like a full ride essentially is what they're offering him. And she's like, well, I knew it was you because of your eyes, even though he looks absolutely nothing like he did previously. But anyway, so she's like into him obviously because he's hot now.
Yeah.
She would have never thought about him twice if he wasn't. So like there's another show that was pretty recent.
Yes, I was going to bring that one up.
Called Lookism.
Yes, that's a different thing, I think, than the one I was thinking of. The other revenge glow up show, but he actually worked for it.
Definitely different than that.
Got it. Cool.
in that weird show, basically he's got like two bodies. He's got his fat person body and his like god body.
Okay.
And he basically has to go to sleep to switch bodies.
Interesting.
So that's the first episode. I'm not really spoiling anything.
Facts. Okay,
but
cool.
It's kind of this, and I feel the same thing here is like they really kind of play this, I think, untenable kind of plot device where it's like you get hot, people like you all of a sudden. It's just like, I don't see what the point of a show like that really is. Like what is the moral there? Unless you're high or you're nothing. I like. Yeah. Wow, that is clearly like you live a harder life if you're ugly versus if you're like a dime piece, and that is undeniable.
What is fucked is that it's true. It's fucked up. I mean, there's literally been studies of like people in upper management and C-level suite. Their like average height is like 7 inches taller than the average height of anyone else. There's something there with humanity. Do
you think Brad Pitt ever had to work as a fucking McDonald's guy?
No, he's a fucking Adonis.
Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely not. That man gets Fight Club chiseled on the reg. That man deserves it. But okay, to the point. Let's speculate. Let's go from here. We kind of saw that. Episode 3 is where I stopped. He literally, to show how much this show is just fucking placates to the fantasy fulfillment kind of thing. He's at the mall to buy clothes just because this is reasonable. He lost 200 pounds in 16 hours. Okay, he needs new fucking clothes.
It totally
makes fucking sense. That man has an actual infinite money stream. That's cool. You do notice that everyone at the goddamn mall is just looking at this guy and just literally starstruck at how hot this man is.
So am I crazy? He does not look that good.
I think he looks.
But I think the drawing is like doesn't make him actually look as attractive as like some of the other characters even in this show.
Oh no, for sure. Yeah, 100%.
It's very weird. Like,
is he top tier for the verse? Maybe. I think that's part of it. Is that he has like extra shaders and faders in his hair and shit.
He's got like two like radiused face. Like there's something up. It's not a sharp chin. I'm looking for high cheekbones. That you could, cut diamonds with.
He's not meeting your standard of Adonis level beauty, I guess.
Absolutely not.
Fair enough. But everyone else thinks so in the show. He is then scouted because the shitty male model that, was hungover didn't show up for the shoot. So he said, I'm going to pluck someone from the mall. He's going down an escalator and he's like, Doki Doki, that's my guy. And he just like, my heart is racing, grabs him, and it fucking full sends to the point where another agency is trying to pick him up. So he's literally so hot that he was plucked, succeeded, and now another agency wants to grab him for modeling and call him on whatever, fucking diamond in the rough. But where it goes from here.
That's probably what happened to Ryan Reynolds.
That's definitely what happened to Ryan Reynolds. You know what's what happened to him.
He was over there in Toronto on his little escalator.
Eating his fucking poutine.
Oh my gosh,
and
look
boom.
at this guy.
We got to get you in front of the camera, bud. Yuya basically, I think what's going to happen is we're going dual world harem because at the end of episode 3, you do get the one chick, I think her name is Lexia, in the isekai world, and he has this Kaori in this human world and a couple others that are kind of propping up as well. He's going to get a harem. We know that's going to happen. I think what's going to happen with his character development for the rest of the show is the problem that I immediately saw with this idea. That girl who's the daughter of the chairman who he saved was ready to come see him, fat or no.
Yeah.
This show could have been a glow-up show where someone put their trust and finally saw past an exterior that has been famously clowned upon and ridiculed. All the lessons are going to remain the same, but he's going to be like, it's going to be, because we saw in the beginning, right? You know, face your fears, you know, challenge yourself, actually have fun, get loose, you know, be a member of society and put yourself out there. That would be a great lesson if he was like slowly getting like losing weight and bettering himself and becoming more social. But no, he's just fucking hot and rich already. So we're gonna have a show that's gonna have this arc of like him becoming a more outward and assertive person, but he has all the tools where that's okay. So that's what we're gonna get, I think, in this show.
Yeah, I think if you write this yourself and you want to make it better, you take him to like level 15 the first day, maybe.
Right, he's losing some weight.
Yeah,
like you
where
see
he's
progress.
like slowly slimming down. It's still noticeable when she comes to pick him up to take him to rich person school.
Yeah,
but it's not like, holy fuck, you're a model after 3 weeks.
Here's what I think is also going to happen. His two shit siblings that was always like orchestrate him getting his ass beat on the reg basically got clowned on when they wanted to go to this elite high school, and that chick is like, no, anyone that insults Yuya doesn't deserve to go to my school. And I think what's going to happen is they're going to be the fucking Team Rocket of the show. They're going to just try to do like ploy after ploy. And I think eventually they're going to find his little secret alcove, because they do probably have some family ties to, like, they'll find a fucking scroll in their attic or something and be like, Grandpa had one of these. And they break into his house and fucking find it. They're going to, I think that their arc is going to be that. They're going to try to basically tear him back down. Like, you don't deserve this. They're going to say they're going to show that he is like a brave and kind-hearted person. And then they are going to be like, we were just always so jealous of how kind you were to people. And then he's going to forgive them, and they're going to make up by the end of the season. Done. Clean. That's how that arc is going to go. As far as the harem, I think they're all going to come together. They're going to like kind of vibe like, hey, this is the girlfriend from the other world that, you know, she went to the other school that you don't know about. And he's like, no, you fucking, who is this? And then Lexia and Kaori are basically just gonna like meet, and like they're gonna, you know, fight for each other, or like fight for him, I guess, at some point. That's what I think is gonna happen. I think he's gonna learn a lesson he doesn't deserve. Like he just is like, yeah. He's going to learn like it's okay, because we saw it's
okay to be me, but I'm also 6'6" and hot.
Right, and I'm literally super powered and rich beyond anyone's wildest dreams. I have the pipeline to do fucking whatever I want.
So I'm gonna tell you random things that have happened in the next couple of episodes.
Okay, this rips.
And
okay.
I want to see if you could possibly imagine this happening.
Okay. Well, he got the marriage proposal, and I think, yeah, I just think that he's going to be attempting to be thrusted into this like royal politics. I think he's going to disrupt all that in the isekai world, because now we have a princess in play. Princess is in play. We got a royal bullshit in play. That's all. There's going to be a prince that's jealous. I don't know. Like this
there is royal bullshit involved later.
Sick. Okay.
They go on a school trip to the mountains.
Okay.
in the real world.
Okay.
And he fucking wrestles a bear in front of everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is giving me Ari Furta vibes. Okay, keep going.
He picks up a pet. Would you like to guess what the pet is?
The cub of the bear he beat?
No.
Damn it.
It's in the other world. Sorry.
Oh, definitely picks up some kind of... God, I want to say dragon, but it seems so cliche. Is it a dragon?
No, it's a legendary wolf.
God damn it.
Fenrir.
Okay. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
So then he also, for some unknown reason, is able to bring that animal to the real world.
What the fuck?
So he has him in both worlds, which I never saw coming. I thought he was going to keep him in the other world in his little house and then just visit him every night.
Yeah.
But no, he fucking goes back home, feeds him, and then leaves him in his like tatami house.
When they have a literal world in his fucking closet.
Yeah.
And cold. Absolutely cold. Yuya, you are a dumb bitch. Like,
yeah.
that's just...
So that happens. Let's see what else. He finds for some reason the ability to create like onsens. Like he can teleport them into the forest.
He can make fucking hot springs.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I don't know why.
That's asking for harem shit.
And it goes down.
Shit goes down. Okay. All right.
So basically there's like a subplot where Lexia was actually getting like assassinated, which is why she was hurt in that first episode that he picks her up.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I'm assuming that like she was not on death's door, but she was getting attacked by someone in the darkest region. So I'm assuming someone in the royal bullshit like put a hit on her.
Yeah. So there's like, okay, I don't know the answer to that. There's clearly some political intrigue there.
Gotcha. Okay.
And even as far as I've gotten, he has not met the king yet. So I don't even know like really what's going to happen there.
Okay.
But I think what my thoughts are is this is going to end up being like he's going to have to go out there and like really fight to actually save somebody, but it's like a self-worth thing too.
That's the one thing I was
like
going to...
An assassin thinks they can only be an assassin, and he's got to like try to convince her that she can be whatever she wants to be.
Full send. Abs. I can totally see that. And my thing with, I think at some point that little safety cottage that he fucking has is going to be encroached on, either from the real world, someone discovering it like the twins do, or not the twins, it was fucking siblings, or it's going to be encroached from the other side,
so
and he has to keep the real world.
Literally next episode.
Really?
Yeah.
There it is.
I recommend at least watching that one because it is bonkers as fuck.
Okay, I could definitely do that before.
It is bonkies.
Okay, absolute top tier bonkies.
And they have not shown up since. So I have a feeling they were just like a little momentary road bump.
The siblings?
Yeah.
I think they'll be back. They're gonna
so
full send at the end of that.
I think he's gonna bring Kaori to the other world.
I can see that.
And
I can 100% see that.
Make her like super strong too.
Oh,
yeah. There's gonna be like
she would have the first time traveler to the other world buff, and then if she were to like hold the fucking bow and arrow and just launch at a level 200, she's already level 75. She's good to go.
So what I hope happens is there's gonna be some crossover into the real world. That's the only way to make this, in my opinion, any like interesting plot long term.
But do you think from what you saw,
not
that's
chance.
Actually okay? That's what we're looking at. Is the tropes that I saw is one of those shows that are gonna have character development and good lessons if the character didn't have all the fucking boons in the world.
Right.
If they actually remained and it wasn't a power fantasy, we may have a really endearing character profile show on our hands, but we don't, and we won't, and that's not what this is going to be.
I mean, he pulled first-hand Exodia, basically.
He literally pulled the perfect hand. It wasn't even the heart of the cards. The cards just sucked him off and said, you deserve this because you're a brave boy. He is the most special boy. He's the hottest boy.
Have you seen there's like this video online, they're playing like Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels or whatever.
Oh, and then someone actually pulls the Exodia in the first hand?
He's got the Yugi's grandpa deck, and then the other guy has like a brand new deck where you can like summon 15, Blue Eyes White.
Sure. He's just an absolute
jet dragons in one turn.
Absolute combo monster,
and so he's like got no health points left basically, but he pulls their left arm and just like wins instantly, even though he like basically almost lost on turn one.
Yep.
Pretty funny shit.
There you go. That's what this show is. It's just It's what it's going to be the entire time. You know what? And I would be shocked if there's a season 2 of this show just from what I saw. But you know, worse shows have gotten longer runs, so leave it there. That's where I think this is going. It's basically going to be, we know it's going to be harem-y. We know he's going to basically learn lessons that he already has all the equipment and the freedom and like every safety net in the world to be able to learn them with no repercussion or effort. And
I personally think it's going to depend on how harem-y it gets, right? Right now, to me, it feels like he's got his eye on Kaori in particular.
Yeah.
But if he strays a little bit.
He didn't seem down for the marriage proposal for sure from Lexia.
Right.
So I get it. Like I can see that, you know.
Well, I mean, like, do you even say you get isekai to another world, do you even consider that like a real human being, or you consider it like a simulation?
I would need proof of the simulation, or else I have to force myself to believe it's real.
It's the Matrix.
It's the Matrix.
Trinity.
Let me pump your heart for you, girl. That's a Reloaded reference for y'all. But next show, we'll decide which one we want at the end to continue. But next show that we decided to watch is Otaku Elf. This show, to cut up kind of the fantasy isekai vibe of the bookends here, is a very slice of life fantasy kind of situation. I believe they're in a prefecture of Tokyo somewhere. Takamimi, I think, is the shrine that this girl, Kyoto, is basically turned 16, and she has become the official shrine assistant to the goddess that actually lives there. Fucking crazy that happens. This goddess's name is Elda. She is 631 years old. She is an elf that was brought here, summoned here 400 years ago by the ancestors of Kyoto, or Koito, I think her name is Koito.
Yeah,
Koito.
You're spelling it correctly. We both don't know how to pronounce it.
And it's Koito from here on out.
Coitus.
Koito, God. So Elda has been around the block since the Edo period. But
as in 600 years.
As in 600 damn years. And her little tiny quirk is she's a fucking otaku. That's right. This show is exactly what it says on the tin. And you have a lazy, quote unquote, good for nothing god equating to Koito. And she feels burdened with the responsibility of having to take care of this chick. I mean, the first request that Elda gave was, "Oh, Miko, which I guess is the name of the assistant or the shrine's guardian. Get me a Red Bull.
Yeah,
give me those fucking wings, dude. Like, I'm trying to game. I stayed up all night gaming, and I want to marathon anime today. I want to binge like a DJ.
I will say, pretty good start.
I mean, she is one of me. She is one of us. I get her. I feel her. She doesn't have a lot of magic of her own. She can commune with spirits, and it seems like the only real magic she can pull off is communicating long distances through spirits. And it's almost always like, "Can you please get me snacks?"
Yeah. Don't forget the fries.
Yes, get me combo 1 and 6 because they have the toys I don't have yet. Literally what she says. So this show, I only had to watch 2 episodes to get the vibe. I bet I can predict this entire thing all the way through. It's not even a problem, right? So the vibe you get, I don't know if you caught it, was you're getting a narrative of this chick who is kind of a coming of age, and she wants to be an adult super quickly, and she wants to like kind of rush into adulthood. And then you have the oldest living thing on the face of the earth who doesn't want anything to do with responsibility, maturity, or adulthood, and just wants to absolutely fucking game like a fucking gamer, dude. Like,
yeah, I think it's I think an interesting trope in that there's really the 2 sides of the coin. There's the person who wants it to always stay the same, and the person who wants everything to change quickly. I actually like that aspect of this show a lot. I think, like, it is very, very common for kids to want to grow up quick while forgetting that these are, like, genuinely the best times of your life. Like,
right, that they should be savored.
Right,
yeah. Before
you have any, like, real problems to deal with.
Yep.
It is, like, definitely something you want to try to savor as much as you possibly can. I I feel like I did a fairly good job of that when I was young, like just not worrying too bad about getting older faster. Like I can't ever remember being like, oh, I wish I was actually 23 right now. You know what I mean?
I never had that urge either. I mean, shit, I'm 30 and I'm still fucking talking about cartoons on a show. Like, I'm cool with my bag. Like I never felt compelled to like get to a certain age, right? But again, like you said, the dichotomy between like the one who will remain the same everlasting, is, I guess, content with nothing ever changing for her, and the one who is hoping for change and rushing into it is the one who has fleeting time. I don't know if the show itself is giving or is really trying to lean on that messaging, because it is trying to play a lot of the comedy up of like the I don't know, the duo. One's the straight man, one's the funny character, and they kind of like butt heads a lot. But what you're gonna get, like we saw from the first 3 episodes, from what I saw, is a narrative where since she's the new generation, and Elda basically kept saying like the old generation just kind of put up with it, and like it was way nicer to me when I just like shut in for 60 years. She's gonna try to spur her into like engaging with the world again.
Right.
So, and as what I predict, seeing the things fresh through Elda's eyes, who hasn't really been out in like 60 years, it's going to give Koito basically a new perspective on things. And you're going to get a lot of sitcom-y episodic adventures, I think. You're going to get a lot of moments where like, hey, we're going to get you out of the house to go do this or go do that with brand new people and different experiences. And she's like, oh, maybe the world isn't that bad. And then she can be like, oh, maybe I don't have to rush and I can sit down and smell the roses every once in a while. That's basically what you're going to get, I think.
Yeah, and I think definitely that's the kind of end goal target here. I did want to say it is kind of fortuitous and interesting that they're playing with the like immortal character when we talked about that for like a good bit the other 3 episodes ago.
Right. Like what would you do with that kind of
immortality? Or would you do it at all? That kind of thing. And like, I think they bring it up in episode 2 of this is like, Koito kind of realizes, oh, she might not want to go outside because everyone she's ever met is dead.
Right.
You
and
know what I
like,
mean? And like, I can imagine how like constantly engaging with people, like loving them, and then them all dying over and over and over again could get potentially quite stressful.
Right. And if you think for a being that is never going to really age and is immortal, and time can do this in the span of her life, right? 60 years to her up to this point is less than 1/10 of her life. 60 years to her would be like, I guess, 3 years for me. So that would be as if like I went to like a new place and 3 years later, it wasn't just different. It was like unrecognizably thrusted into the future.
If we did go back 3 years, that would be during the void time.
That'd be I don't want to go back there.
And I gotta be honest, I think it really was that much of a change for you.
It was. I am a blossomed man now, I would say. Do I still have void moments where I want to be a complete degen and just hole up in my room? Yes. That's why I'm a goddamn professor of weebology. I do the goddamn work. But this creature, Elda the elf, basically gets unlimited time to do that exact thing. But we do see in the first couple episodes cracks of that, right? That things have changed to such a degree that which she knew prior. She's even said, I used to walk around a lot more. And I think when she says used to, that could be centuries ago for her. Like, truly.
Right. So she like makes a joke that 70 years ago, some random little boy was like, why are your ears so long or something like that? Your
ears are weird.
Yeah.
Your ears are fucking whack.
And that's what kind of put the final nail in the coffin. But I think there is going to be some actual undertone where like some real event had actually happened.
You know what else I think is going to happen too? They have thrown the line that the ancestors of this family, of this shrine, summoned her here boom, we have a reverse isekai in our hands, and I've seen Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. We will have more elves. At least a couple.
Well, I think know that 100%. Actually because we've seen the credits and the OP show another elf. So
I actually did not watch either of those.
Okay, well, I saw them, and there's another elf.
Okay, that's the thing.
I'm actually thinking low key that Koma could be the other elf because she's like got a little bit too much knowledge. Seems like
she seems a little bit chill.
She's knowing.
She's knowing. Yeah,
they've even referenced it twice. They're like, sometimes she just does this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and she's like, I don't know what it is, but I find Elda charming, or like,
right.
I'm like, she has a connection that like Koito basically does not want to engage with.
Right.
But Koma's
I don't know.
basically
Something's fucked up with her. I'm getting fuzzy vibes off that chick.
Absolute fuzz mode right now.
But okay. I will say my favorite character is Koito's little sister.
She's great. She's a culinary savant. Like,
well, she's like a super chef, but it's like every time she speaks, they do this like boop boop boop. Yeah, they're like, yep. I don't even know what to call that. Kernings above her head.
They almost look like emotes, like kind of like, they're like little apostrophes.
Yeah.
They're almost like thick, like visualizations that she is just like.
But it's like it's obviously she's just like happy-go-lucky is what they're going for.
Yes, for sure.
And it's just like so much fun because, especially early on, like Elda only speaks to Koito. And then they try to like get Koyashi or something as her sister's name, Koyasu.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get her kind of like more comfortable with the little sister because she's the one that's cooking anyway.
And the one, like literally Elda cannot stop gushing about the food. And we find out in episode, I think 2, that it's like, my little sister's cooking literally everything you're eating.
Yeah, and then she's like trying to thank her for all the cool dishes, but she's like whispering it to Koito to say.
Yeah.
And that was such a fun scene.
Just fucking talk to her, dude. It's like, I'm nervous. That's why we're doing this right now, Elda. Like, fucking talk to my sister, please.
But there was like one part where they were like, please make sure that my like enthusiasm comes across. And Koito has to be like, wow!
You can make simmered fruit dishes too?
Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah.
I really love that scene.
That was a good one. So, I mean, I think what you have here is a little bit of fantasy, a little bit of cozy slice of life, and you get that, like, relatable otaku moments that, like, I think a lot of people would resonate with.
I mean, for a slice of life, this did not feel boring to me.
I felt a little bit strained because I was getting notes of the one joke pony situation.
You're getting notes of the One Piece?
A little bit, and it's real.
Elda's in Gear 5.
Basic Gear 5's up now. Joy Boy's a real thing now. So the thing about this show and shows like it is that they have a tendency that every character is slotted into their particular silo and how to make this machine work. And they really never seem to branch too far outside of it, apart from maybe our main characters. You have the happy-go-lucky little sister. You have the very abrasive and, upfront Koma. You have all these other characters. And I feel as though by the end, where I just get sick and tired of just the same characters making the same jokes or the same archetypes all the way through. That's something I can't really discern. It had all of the flavor of that, but I would very much like to think that it doesn't end that way. I think there's growth. I'd like to see growth in them.
So like typically I'm not a big slice of life person, but if I know that's what I'm getting when I come into it, I'm able to sort of suspend that like need for like constant action or constant like progress toward a plot. I think like for instance, like Comey can't communicate. Yeah. I think it is a slice of life, but like I think potentially more like romance undertone than obviously this show's gonna be.
For sure. Well, we'll see. I think there was some Yuri shit. I think that was kind of budding with Koito, maybe Koma. I don't know. There was some stuff there.
I don't know.
Again, this is all speculative.
Yeah.
This is all speculative.
But what I was gonna say is this show feels like they would do like almost like mission of the week kind of scenario.
Oh, for sure.
Similar to like high score girl or whatever the fuck we watched. Like
high score girl
5 years ago.
Yeah.
where like not a lot really happens in the show, but they like still are able to like do something sort of new every week and make it a little bit fun. Sort of like a house husband, whatever.
Way
it's
the
called.
house husband?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, but that one is like sitcom where worlds collide. He has this ingrained past and weird skill set, but is put in a situation that is completely antithetical to that entire like rap sheet or resume.
Right.
I don't necessarily see that here, but I do see at least a driving narrative thread where it's Kyoto is trying to change the way that the previous generations of Mikos were like just complacent and okay in letting Elda kind of do this lifestyle. And she's going to basically try to like use that happy-go-lucky, maybe almost like chipper attitude to be like, all right, but also like fucking fed up. Like, look, I'm doing this for your own good. Let's get the fuck out of the house. And all the missions of the week is going to be a different, as we do more of them, Elda's going to be like, wow, the world nowadays isn't actually that bad. Yippee dip do. And then that's what it's going to be. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing. It's just a predictable thing. That's all I'm thinking. There will be a festival involved at some point. They're going to go to one of those. Has to. There's going to be, Elda's going to be put, I think, in a situation where she has to step the fuck up publicly. And she's going to overcome a fear. It might be a midway through the season, might be the end of the season. Somewhere in the middle, she's going to do something. But I think I just also don't want the comedy to get too far in the way. Like the comedy's the comedy's pretty good. I just don't want them to
like lean so hard on it
that they don't really kind of flesh out what I think they have something cool here. Like it's a fun slice of life thing. And I just don't want them to completely fuck it up by trying to like burn time to make the joke.
Yeah, I think we'll have to see what ends up happening, but it could be interesting how they kind of play with the Ieyasu Tokago, whatever the fuck his name is, the guy who like basically created Tokyo.
Yeah.
Is her old friend.
Yeah,
who,
just
like
chill.
Basically asked her to do this job essentially.
Right.
Could be interesting to see how that all kind of plays in. Like, are we going to get flashbacks? Or is there going to be like stuff like that you would kind of expect from like a old school?
You know there are going to be
fantasy.
flashbacks. Yeah, definitely like flashbacks. And I think at some point she's going to remember like what does it really mean to be the guardian of a space?
Yeah,
like engaging with the
what
people.
What is love?
Baby, don't hurt me. Copyright strike me no more. So that's that one. And I think it's going to comfy slice of life. People will learn some shit. The comedy might get in the way. The people might be a little bit one note, but I think ultimately we end in a nice, cozy time at the end of the day for that show. But I guess speaking of fucking the burning time to just make the joke, we get to the last show. The legendary hero is dead. And I don't know, man. I don't fucking know, dude. So, do you want to do a little synopsis on this one? I think you just clapped up the couple episodes.
Yeah, so I had actually seen basically clips from this first episode because of how fucking wacky it is.
Okay.
Already on like YouTube compilations.
Okay.
But essentially, there's this legendary hero. He closed the gates to hell. Only a few, like 6 or something years later, 3 years later, it starts to open again.
That shit popped way open.
And now all these demons are flooding back into our world. Our main character, Toka
Scott.
Yeah, Toka Scott
Fucking
is just
wild.
a radish farmer.
You think it's Scott Toka?
No.
Because it's like for last first?
Well, they keep calling him Toka.
Well, that's what Japanese people call people by the last name all the time. Checkmate. Checkmate. Toka Scott. We're calling him Toka. Dude's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
like, he's
just very into thigh-high socks for some unknown reason.
So, okay, I will say back up. Completely removing in the objectivity of it. It's a based opinion. Thigh Nation. Let's go. That's my vibe. But he's a shithead about it. And we know this from the first time we see him on screen. He is a humble radish farmer. He plucks a radish and then is so enamored by its shape, he puts a stocking on it because it reminds him of a perfect woman's thigh. Oh boy, like
Okay, but to be absolutely fair, God tier joke came right after that.
That's right.
His childhood friend comes over, yells at him, is like, "You're such a perv," and he goes, "Only men of culture would understand this."
And then the two men that are walking, and then basically only men of culture understand, and then she chastised them for that, and they're like, and they tuck their radishes with stockings back in their jackets.
I mean, hilarious.
Absolutely fucking gold. I genuinely laughed out loud at that point.
Same. I was like, oh!
That got me chuffed. I was chuckled. That childhood character is Yuna, and she is the absolute archetypal trope of funneling all your goddamn fan service into a single character. Swear to God, she is built to be ecchi, like that from head to toe. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't know how to tell you about it.
Well, there's a but about it.
Oh, there's a but about it, and we're gonna get some stockings on all that. I guess. You don't put stockings on butts.
Yunarine.
At that point, they're just pantyhose. So what happened was we have Toka kind of pissed, a little upset that Yuna just won't shut the fuck up about Scion, the legendary hero that was chosen by the Sacred Blade. And he decides that as long as I'm not going to go out there and fight, but as long as my house and my farm are fucking good, I'm chill. I am absolutely kosher. And to make that happen, I'm going to build a big ass spike trap in front of the house and the field. So if a devil does show up, it'll fall right into it. On cue, devil shows up, tries to attack Yuna. He tries to barbecue pork to lure the demon over to him. And he says, not even a demon can resist succulent barbecue pork. Demon goes, fucking hate pork, piece of shit. It's gross. I want human. I want thigh meat, baby. Give me that absolute grade A choice cut grass-fed thigh meat. And he doesn't get it because Scion comes in out of nowhere, slashes that motherfucker up. That guy hasn't eaten in days. Yuna is absolutely thirsty for that legendary hero's quote-unquote sacred sword. And
that's weird. I thought she was hungry for his meat.
His cock and balls. You're right. You're so right. You're so right. Not even innuendo can do it justice. But he smells some barbecue that someone was cooking a couple minutes ago, walks right towards it, falls in the spike pit, dead. Legendary hero, charged with saving the world, fucking dead at the hand of Thigh Master 2000 Toka Scott. Toka and the other Radish boys decide to bury his ass in the graveyard, but Arnie has other plans. This little girl who... Henri?
Yeah, Anri.
I thought it was Arni.
Nope.
I like Arnie, though.
Henri is certainly a nicer name.
It does flow off the tongue better, but I'll call her Henri. Henri, the necromancer, is the user of taboo magic, brings the legendary hero back to life, but not in the way you'd expect. Toka Scott has been transferred into the legendary hero because Henri thinks that the person that defeated the legendary hero must somehow be greater in some capacity. That's a negatory, my good buddy.
Right. If you're strong enough to kill or outsmart the legendary hero, you're certainly worthy to receive his body.
Yeah. And turns out, no. Just fucking no. Because the spell in and of itself requires mana to keep going, and it siphons from the spirit or the soul that resides in the body. If you have a lot of mana, it would be perfect. It would just, regenerate all the time. It'd be an immortal, perfect body. But our boy, Toka Scott, has wee baby mana. And that's literal. He literally has the mana of a fucking child.
Level
of a baby.
1 mana, baby mana.
Baby mana. Yuna has level 2, that of a child, which is fucking wild. So he's literally disintegrating in front of everyone's eyes as he basically has to go do the duty of the legendary hero and reseal the gates of hell, lest he and the body he's in and his original body all perish at the hands of... I want it to be Arnie so bad, dude. I just came up here so chuffed that it was going to be Arnie. It's Henri. Henri, fine. Henri. Are you happy?
I guess
I'm not happy.
I mean, I don't particularly get offended when we mess up our names, but
that
people in the Discord.
I thought it was funny. But yeah, that's what we're working with, man. And
so I will say, in dub, it is incredible.
Really?
The timing is unreal. The jokes are hilarious.
We have a combatants will be dispatched situation.
It's exactly like that.
Sick. Okay, maybe I'll give the No, Ethan, I won't. I just
you don't have to. I'm just
I don't
letting
want
you
to.
know that
I know.
I clearly enjoyed it so much more than you did.
And
It was borderline a comedy masterpiece.
I'm happy for you. Maybe I'll give the next episode one watch and dub just to get the vibe here. But what you have on your hands is a whole mix of the fucking tropes, man. You have the childhood friend that the MC wants to get with so bad. He is down so bad. He now have
down catastrophically.
He's literally as down as someone can be.
Galactically.
To the point where he will he tried to do a heist to steal his body back from Henri, and the chicks were sleeping in the same bed and he had his own room. He forgot why he went into that room when he saw the thighs of Yuna, and then he put stockings on her thighs because that is his kink. And he absolutely fucking nearly bounced without getting his body. He just forgot. That is that man's one note fucking thing. So where do I think the show is going to go from here? He's going to learn to be a true hero. We know that's going to happen. That's
interesting. That's not my take.
I think he's still going to have his own quirks. He's never going to get rid of those, but I think he's going to step up to the plate at some point in a very typical, there's no reason why this man should have an emotional response to growth, because he's actively saying, I'm fucking cool with who I am. I don't got to be a hero about it.
I actually did like that aspect.
He was because we have a Kyle in the show. Fucking Kyle.
He's Kyle with his fucking monster energy.
Yes, absolute monster energy, and his backwards cap and his fucking nudity.
His 8 fucking pack.
Yeah, he was always the hero's sidekick, never the hero. So he basically is trying to kill Toka to get the body of the legendary hero. He obviously has more mana. He can make that necromancy bullshit work for him. So what I think, Kyle's going to be a fucking problem throughout the entire show. In a way that's not going to feel, I think, entirely engaging till the very end, because they're going to keep using him for comic relief, I think. He's going to get that Team Rocket energy. He's going to be like, we're blasting off again. I'm going to strip where he gets basically stripped down to his cock and balls, and he uses his spell to cover his Johnson. That's that's the trope that's going to be the entire show.
I agree. That will be very recurring for him.
Yeah.
I think what's going to end up happening is our main character clearly is a shithead.
Yeah.
He is lowest of the low humanity.
He's like rent-a-girlfriend MC kind of bullshit.
Yeah, I think honestly that guy probably has more moral character than this dude. So
yeah,
that's kind of the issue, I think, with this main character. But what I think he's gonna actually do is he's gonna fucking stumble, bumble, crawl his way to the correct answer by the end, the correct solution that they need to close hell, essentially.
Yeah,
or set another 3-year timer on it or something like that. But he's going to do it in such a deceptive, disgusting way. He's going to be like Combatants.
Combatants, yeah.
Where the main character is actually not a good guy at all.
He's an absolute scumlord.
And I think he's going to end up solving all of his problems with pitfall traps.
I think so too.
As a trope that's funny to them.
I think that will remain his methodology. His MO will remain trickery, but I think he will gain some of the perspective of the gravity of the position he's been put in. And I think necromancy's in play and body swapping's in play. So here's 2 things that I fucking believe is going to happen. 1, Scion's spirit's going to come back in some capacity. They're going to have a dual role situation, and he's going to not be necessarily be a mentor, but be his late game foil and be like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? Do you not get what we're doing here? You're making a fucking mockery of this, and we actually have to go do some work. And he's gonna be like, oh shit, you're right. Maybe I didn't know what it was like to have a true heroic spirit or some bullshit. Body swapping, he's going in Yuna's body at some point. He's absolutely gonna go into the absolute thickness. And then he's gonna try to grope. I swear to God, it's gonna be an episode. He's gonna get transferred into there by some necessity or means or an accident of necromancy. He's going to try to grope himself. They're gonna be a whole episode of shenanigans to try to keep him from groping his body, because Yuna's gonna be in the legendary hero's body, and he's gonna try to stop him from groping her body while he's inside of it. You mark my fucking words. That's gonna be a thing. we're gonna find out Mysteria backstory. We already kind of learned a little bit with Henri. She's gonna be because we found out the whole trope of like taboo magic, and she's kind of an outcast sorceress because she practices this taboo magic.
She's basically a homunculus.
Yeah. She's like not quite devil, not quite human. She has the trademark of a devil, but she's all upstairs, I guess. Weirdly enamored by Toka, by the way, which is fucking wild.
Remember, he's in the body of the only person that ever like treated her like a human.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely fair point. Fair point.
I don't see him. There's going to be no redeeming qualities to this main character. I think is definitely the path they're going to go down. I don't see them dueling this body like spirit wise. I don't see him ever like having the come to Jesus moment with Skyon and being like, this is what you should be doing. And he's going to be like, not going to be like, oh, you're right. I've never thought of that. I think there's literally a 0% chance.
I think that's going to happen, but it's not going to feel earned. You're like, that doesn't fucking make sense.
I'm thinking no way.
They're going to shoehorn it in.
I think they're very clearly going to make this guy just such a disgusting degen, but still the eventual hero.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very real path, I think.
The Yuna groping is totally a possibility, but what I also believe is going to happen, and I think I saw this actually in the ED or OP, I think they're going to somehow get Henri's body to be older.
Interesting. Fascinating.
Because I think there's like a whole scene in the ending credits where he's like putting stockings on Yuna and on Henri as an adult Henri.
Yeah, I think what's gonna fucking happen, and again, this is the kind of show that this is, and he is going Toka is going to get the reward of heroism without ever fucking earning it, and having maybe a singular moment or two of I'm gonna be an actual hero now, but it's not gonna feel earned to the audience's perspective. At the very end, he's gonna finally get what he wants. He's going to be fawned over by women, and Yuna's going to fall for him and bang the shit out of him. He's going to get everything he wants, and it's going to make me fucking mad. I think, he's not going to earn it. He's going to have a very vapid kind of coming to heroism, and it's not going to feel earned. Like, he's not going to change.
I'm not sure I actually see him and Yuna getting together at this point. As stupid as that sounds,
man, it's
as
so
dumb
there.
as that sounds.
Childhood friend, tsundere shit. He's the pervert.
I get it.
Yeah,
but
we've seen this arc so many times.
I hear you, man.
Okay, all right.
I'm on board. Like, it does seem like that's supposed to happen, but I've gotten not really a lot of indication so far that will happen.
I think it's just gonna be fucking rushed, dude.
It could come out of nowhere. Certainly a left field scenario.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll do something like borderline heroic in episode 6, and she'll be like, you know what? Maybe he's not so fucking bad.
You fucking know right there at the episode 6 mid-season, and then she's gonna start having these feelings start to bubble because he's starting to get like in his own like.
She's gonna be even bitchier for like 3 episodes.
Yep.
And then she's gonna be like, you know what?
She's gonna be in danger somehow, and you know what I bet it's gonna be. They've already set the groundwork. Whenever you hear something taboo and you have a good character with an ambiguous backstory that uses this taboo shit, we're going to have a villain that uses the same taboo shit. So necromancy is going to be the main end game baddie of the season. Some kind of like that we saw a bit of an end credit scene with like the necromancer who's sitting with bones, like just kind of sitting around.
That's a good point. And he just said, I like the princess's bones.
She has the most beautiful bones in the entire country.
She's my next target.
Yeah, so I think like he, maybe not necessarily him specifically, but like necromancy or a necromancer is going to put like a fucking plague on everybody, and then Yuna's gonna get caught up, and he's gonna fucking figure it out. Like, I think that this show is going to get a season 2. Absolutely gonna get a season 2. Because they're not gonna get to the gates of hell at the end. They just won't.
You know, I really feel like this show has less of a chance of getting a season 2 than the first show.
But it's going to get one anyway, baby.
You think?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude, this has got like shitty B-grade Kmart Don Machi written all over it. This is like Don Machi mixed with like
it's just
Dead Mountain Death Play.
Such a lower tier show than those.
It's
low.
It's
hard to believe that it would get a season 2.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know what? You're right. We don't know, but I can, the pacing of this is wild because they have these like mega spurts of like light speed, ludicrous speed racing through certain points because they're eating up their episodes with etchy jokes and, you know, fucking him being, you know, Toka being a shithead. Like all the chicanery of like, he's going to have to reconcile with an entire life of a hero that he's never had. We saw it, right? That like, hey, my bodyguard fought with you, by the way, and he's going to prove if you're real or not. Hey, do you remember the promise I made with you like 3 years ago? No. It's just like, I'm going to fight you to the death right now, dude. You promised that shit.
I feel like he really could
that's going to happen.
Be
over
a little
and over.
smarter. Absolutely.
Yeah.
They're going to the king right now. The king's going to say some shit like that where he's like,
you promised to marry my daughter.
Or
like,
no, or he's going to be like, you told me to take all that money and donate it to the orphanage, and now you want me to give you money?
Yeah, something like that. Like, yeah, he's going to shake him down from it. It's like, you literally told me to give the entire treasury to this to save the world.
Right.
Now
so
you want more?
I think it's going to be dumb like that. But what I think is just ridiculous is the easiest way to get out of that situation with the bodyguard is to be like, no, I don't remember what I told you 3 years ago, you freaking absolute nobody.
Do you know what I've been doing the entire time?
Also, you're a nobody bodyguard.
Yeah, you're an absolute clown to me. I don't even know who you are. So that's how I think that show's going to go, man. He's going to have a moment of heroism. He's not going to inherently change. It's not going to feel worth it. Sion's going to come back somehow. Yuna's going to be stripped and damn near naked every goddamn episode.
Absolutely. That is a guarantee.
That is a guarantee. Certified hood classic trope.
Guarantee Weebology professor seal of platinum approval.
You know it. You're going to have some kind of big bad that's going to trap her up. He is going to come into his own and be a hero. Toka is going to be the hero maybe with Sion, maybe with Sion's help. But in the end, it's going to be him being the hero because I'm happy just being myself. I think I'm worth a lot, and I could be a hero on my own without borrowing a body. It's just what it's going to be. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what else in that show. Yeah, necromancy is going to be the thing. We're going to get Henri. Becoming a tall woman with luscious thighs, as they literally quote in the show. You know what's going to happen? It's just going to fucking happen.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I misread the end scenes, but I certainly think that's on the fucking docket.
It's on the docket. It's in the game plan.
My question to you now, Ricky, is which of the three, if you had to choose one, will you continue?
I think the obvious answer for me would be Otaku Elf. Just because I think at the end of the day, it's
the least degen version.
It's the least degen version, but also it's like its usage of these tropes are not egregiously wrinkleless. Like it seems like they're doing something with it, and the humor at times seemed to land pretty consistently. But the curveball, I think I might want to watch and finish Cheat Skill as well. I want to see if they can make a lesson out of that. Like a decent one. While I predicted that he's going to learn everything while having every goddamn safety net society can offer to learn those lessons with pure no idea of failure, maybe they pull there's so many ways they can pull a fast one that I want to see if they could do it. They could break down the barrier and the barrier could fucking disappear and literally level 300 monsters are rampaging through the streets of Japan. That'd be fucking rad. And then he actually has to step up and do the work.
The issue with that is he's so ungodly strong. He hasn't even been pressed once.
No, he hasn't. Yeah.
Up to episode 6 that I'm on.
Yeah. And again,
if a gate scenario happened.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking
that
of.
That would be interesting.
Yes.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
He's just too strong. He fucking bitch slapped a bear.
Right. And I think we talked about in the past, good OP shows have a problem or a issue that the main character cannot overpower. They literally can't OP the problem away. They have Saitama's own boredom, in Misfit of Demon Academy, it's literally the thousands of years of history. You just can't rewrite that in a second. The entire society's perception of the Demon King. And other examples as well, kind of in that camp. There's nothing here that he can't solve as of yet. It literally, all of the boons of life.
Right.
are
Being
handed to him.
hot solves all problems.
Yeah, and they really kind of just like, again, it undercuts the message of just being a kind and brave soul is enough to be worth it and validated as a human being that deserves respect. When that person is no longer under the threat and thumb of ridicule because they're hot and they're rich and they're powerful, it just kind of undercuts that. I would watch it to see if they pulled something out. If nothing else, it's like heroin, man. It's just like this like fucking drug that just like, it's wish fulfillment. It's wish fulfillment. And I'm just like, fine, IV it. I don't give a fuck. Like, let's do it. But the real answer is Otaku Elf is the one I think I would finish.
Yeah, I think I could watch all three, to be honest.
I've
seen so many dog shit shows that like the third one doesn't daunt me that much.
It kind of daunts it a bit on me a little bit. Yeah.
I've seen so much dog shit that the level of comedy that they're able to actually deliver to me in the dub, I think is enough to continue me through it. Like, I think a show that would be harder for me to watch is something like, right now it's called Classroom of Heroes, where it's like,
oh, I heard about this show.
So god dang generic that there's just like absolutely nothing of interest.
Are you gonna finish that show?
I have been unable to watch past episode 2.
Maybe if y'all like this concept of us doing the Religion of Three for a couple generic ass shows and see if we can guess our way through it, let us know in the Discord, in the comments, wherever you do that, and in a review, that'd be great. But maybe that one should be slated for like the second installment, because like I've heard about it. I've heard it's trash because of how generic it is.
Well, I sincerely doubt I'll have made any progress on it, so it certainly lines up well for this type of
hell yeah,
wild speculation.
Absolutely. And if you guys heard the speculation and noticed we were dead on some things or wildly wrong on another, after we're done with this class, which is actually right now, so thank you for coming, head into our Discord, patreon.com/weebology. $1 and up gets you in there with all the Patreon folk and our past guests, where you can discuss how well we did, and maybe you can vote on the ones that we actually finish. And if you say all three, you're just punishing us at this point. You know who you are. I know exactly the 3 people that are going to say finish them all in that Discord. Like, comment, subscribe anywhere you do those things. And if you want to give us some more monetary love outside of that, $3 and up get you the syllabus sidebar, our lo-fi high vibe, sometimes anime, sometimes not, sometimes visual, and sometimes on hiatus show. I mean, just a little hiatus. We talk about life and things and
typically on
stuff
hiatus.
That doesn't, just a little hiatus.
Just a little typical hiatus for about a year and a half.
Just a little year and a half. But it's about 30 episodes there. So it's just this big, beefy little cornucopia of extra content for you if you've not experienced it.
Kids are flooding my head.
Yeah. If you want to go to anywhere you get your podcast fix, you're on this platform, over and down, over 215 episodes of this kind of anime content.
Of fucking platinum shit.
It's literally all platinum. So many catalytic converters can be powered on.
Did I ever tell you Oppenheimer called me yesterday?
He called you? What did he tell you about that? What did he say?
Your shit's the bomb.
Damn! Holy shit, bars.
I know. He also said he didn't like the movie Barbie.
Wow. You might take a little bit of lumps for that one.
Yeah, Oppenheimer said that he was he thought that it promoted a bad I don't know what the fuck. I didn't see it. I have no clue what happens in it.
Oh my god. Last plug. Content link tree, anywhere you want to contact us on our socials and stuff like that, and maybe pick up some merch. Go peruse some of that in the store. Weebology.com. Kind of a nuke of an outro, isn't it?
Oh.
But until we can think of more puns of mass destruction, I'm Ricky.
And I'm Little Boy.
And this has been Weebology.
Fat Man.
Deuces. Am I Fat Man in this scenario?
Well,
fuck, I need a magic closet, dude. I feel like I'm going to get ridiculed.
Honestly, I would love a magic closet.
Yeah, give me 2. I'll take 2, please. I'll take 2.